The first thing Mark Halden felt was pain, raw, burning, all-consuming. It dragged him back into consciousness like a cruel hand pulling him out of darkness. His eyes snapped open to a sky swirling with yellow storms and drifting ash. The battlefield in orbit had vanished. Now he lay half-buried in the dirt of an unknown world, his armor cracked and sparking with dying power. He tried to move, but every muscle screamed in protest. He remembered fragments. The surprise ambush, the ruptured engine core, the violent pull of gravity as his escape pod tore through a planet's atmosphere. And then, nothing but fire. Now he was here, alone, injured, weak. A faint alarm blinked on his wrist module, oxygen failure, 12. Mark swallowed hard. Come on, don't do this to me. He smacked the module, but it only flickered again, weaker. The jungle around him shifted with low, guttural sounds, leaves rustled. Something snarled from deep within the dark vines. He forced himself to sit up, gritting his teeth as sharp pain shot through his ribs. His visor displayed a toxic atmosphere warning. He'd be dead in minutes if his suit fully failed. He needed shelter, water, a signal, anything. But when he tried to stand, his legs buckled, sending him crashing back to the ground. Dirt filled his palms. His breathing became shallow and rapid as the oxygen dropped another percentage. Mark wasn't afraid of dying, not really. Humans didn't get to fear death after serving in the outer front, but he hated the idea of dying powerless, without even a chance to fight back. He slumped against a jagged stone, forcing his trembling fingers to activate an emergency distress ping. The device sparked, then died. Great, he whispered bitterly. Real helpful. The jungle quieted suddenly. Even the wind seemed to pause. From the tree line, a pair of glowing amber eyes emerged, silent, predatory, unblinking. Mark tensed, heart pounding. He reached for the broken piece of metal near his leg, the closest thing he had to a weapon. But a wave of dizziness washed over him, and the darkness returned, heavier this time. Just before he lost consciousness, a tall silhouette stepped into view, lean, powerful, unmistakably alien. Hardened armor plates glinted beneath the stormlight. She moved with purpose, not hostility, and knelt beside him with a soft rumble he didn't understand. Mark's final blurred thought before collapsing was simple yet impossible. Why would a Varan warrior choose to approach him, instead of finishing him? Kaera crouched beside the unconscious human, her sharp senses scanning the jungle for movement. The predators had sensed weakness. She could smell their anticipation in the air. Yet something about this wounded outsider made her pause. Humans were the enemy, her clan's stories said, dangerous, unpredictable. But this one was barely alive, breathing in shallow, uneven pulls beneath a cracked suit that flickered like a dying ember. She slowly extended a clawed hand, tapping the human's armor. It responded with a short burst of static that made her pull back instinctively. His body jolted slightly at the touch, a pained groan escaping his lips. The sound hit her harder than she expected. It wasn't the cry of a warrior, just a being trying to cling to life. Her instincts told her to leave him. Her clan's laws demanded she report him so the elders could deal with the intruder. But something in his quiet fight for survival tugged at her. There was no malice in him, no weapon drawn, no threat, just a fragile persistence, and it stirred a memory of her younger brother who had once clung to life in the same way after a skirmish. She had saved him. She could save this human, too. With a resolute grunt, Kaera slid her arms beneath him. He was heavier than she expected, even in his weakened state. His breath trembled against her shoulder as she lifted him, bearing his weight with careful, calculated steps. The jungle around them hissed and growled, but she moved quickly, her muscles coiled with urgency. She carried him through the thick foliage toward the cliffs where ancient stone structures lay half-swallowed by vines, abandoned temples her people no longer visited. A good hiding place, a forbidden one, but safe. Inside the hollow chamber, she set him gently on a flat slab of stone. His face was pale beneath the cracked visor, his pulse thin. She tapped the side of his helmet, activating a weak life support beep that showed his temperature was dropping fast. Without hesitation, Kaera removed her cloak and draped it over him. Her species radiated heat differently than humans, and she pressed her armored form close enough to stabilize him, sharing warmth instinctively. Outside, the night creatures howled as they hunted. Kaera tightened her grip on her plasma spear and positioned herself between the human and the entrance, her amber eyes locked on the shadows. Whether this choice would earn her exile or worse no longer mattered. For tonight, Whether anyone understood or not, she would be his protector. Mark woke to the soft hum of alien energy, a steady vibration that pulsed through the stone beneath him. For a moment he thought he was still in the wreckage of his escape pod, but then he felt warm air, not mechanical, not filtered, brush against his exposed neck. His eyes snapped open. The helmet visor had been removed and set carefully beside him. Panic shot through his chest as he tried to rise, but a firm, clawed hand pressed gently against his shoulder. He froze. Standing over him was a towering figure, her silhouette outlined by dim bioluminescent moss. Armor made of chitin and metal plates clung to her powerful frame, and the burning amber of her eyes locked onto his with unsettling intensity. It took him a heartbeat too long to recognize the species, a Varan warrior, enemy, predator, executioner. Mark instinctively tried to sit up again, but pain ripped through his ribs, forcing a groan from his throat. The warrior tilted her head, that sharp gaze narrowing as if she were assessing whether he was about to die right in front of her. Where am I?" he managed, his voice barely a whisper. She didn't answer in words. Instead, Kaera gestured toward the stone walls around them. Ancient symbols traced with glowing green vines, a safe place tucked deep within the cliffs. She was showing him shelter, not a cage, confusion warred with fear. Why would she save him? A Varan saving a human was unthinkable. Mark's breathing steadied enough for him to scan the structure. His visor screen had been propped on a pedestal, and his broken wrist module lay beside it. Someone, she, had tried to repair it. Only a few tools lay out, cleaned and arranged neatly. Her doing, carefully, purposefully. Then he heard it, soft crunches of footsteps outside the temple, low voices speaking in the rough Varan tongue. Kaera's posture shifted instantly, her muscles tensed, ears angling toward the noise. She grabbed her plasma spear, stepping between Mark and the entrance with a fluid protective motion. "Wait," Mark whispered, struggling to push himself up. "Your people, they're looking for you?" Her expression didn't change, but her silence confirmed everything. The hunters were close, and they were tracking her, not him. Mark tried to rise again, trying to shake off weakness, but dizziness rolled over him like a wave. He collapsed back onto the stone, powerless. Kaera glanced over her shoulder at him, just for a moment. Not anger, not annoyance, something else, a promise. As the shadows of her own clan approached, plasma blades humming, she planted her feet firmly in front of him. She would not run. She would not hide. She would fight for him. The first hunter stepped into the temple's entrance with a guttural snarl, his plasma blade cutting a blue streak through the dim air. Kaera answered with a warning growl of her own, a deep, resonant sound that vibrated through the stone chamber. Mark, still weak and barely able to sit upright, felt a chill run through him. She wasn't just protecting him, she was defying her own people to do it. Two more Varan warriors emerged behind the first, armor painted with clan markings, their eyes burning with accusation. One pointed directly at Kaera and barked a harsh command Mark couldn't understand, but the meaning was clear. Step aside and surrender the human. Kaera didn't move. In a flash of motion, the nearest hunter lunged, his blade carved downward, but Kaera parried with the force of a thunderstrike. Sparks burst across the stone as weapon met weapon. She spun, landing a crushing blow to his chest, sending him crashing into a column with a roar of pain. The others advanced. Mark watched, helpless but desperate. Every instinct in him screamed to fight, to help, to do anything other than lie there like dead weight. But his ribs burned with every breath, and his limbs felt like they were made of lead. He gritted his teeth, forcing himself upright inch by inch, even as his vision swam. Outside the temple, more snarls echoed. More warriors closing in. Kaera fought fiercely. She moved with fluid brutality, absorbing hits that would have killed Mark instantly. She blocked a spear thrust aimed at her head, twisted the weapon away, and struck with the blunt end of her plasma spear, knocking one warrior unconscious. But she couldn't fight an entire hunting party alone, not forever. Mark's gaze fell on his broken comm device lying nearby.